There's no denying that the Americas are relatively LGBT friendly here, right? So everything dark blue recognizes gay marriage. Light blue, that's Bolivia, right? Sorry for my ignorance. Civil unions. So what's gray? No data? Same-sex intercourse legal recognize of unions. Oh, okay. No recognition of civil unions, but same-sex intercourse is legal. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, it's yellow right here. That's Guyana, right? Yeah, that's Guyana. Prison not enforced. So yeah, that's the only place in like Latin America where there's any. Wow, Iran is death crazy. Yeah, oh yeah, they'll kill you in Iran for being gay. I don't think it happens that often though, because it's like it's a chilling effect thing, and it's French. That is true. Guyana is not Latin American. It's South American, but not Latin American. Argentina is more pro-gay than America, according to Pew. I've talked to Argentinians online, and that tracks with my experience. Doesn't Mexico have like an insane number of gay and trans people? Like the percentage of the Mexican population that's LGBT is like 12% or something, some insane number like that. Yeah, Argentina's up there with it's higher than the United States. It's very interesting, very interesting. It's also really difficult to like. It's so difficult to boil this down to a simple question. It's like if you ask an American if they support free healthcare for all versus do you support, or it's like, do you support Obamacare versus do you support the Affordable Care Act versus do you support like Medicaid subsidies or whatever. People give you wildly different answers depending on how things are phrased. I'm pretty sure that in a lot of the world, they're homophobic, but also they get silly with it. And if you call what they do gay, they'll get mad at you. But it is. And I don't mean just like men hand-holding or whatever. I mean that like in some countries, if you say like a person who is gay, they think of like a person in a committed homosexual relationship. But a lot of the people who are homophobic towards that have had sex with men or fooled around with guys, and they like it, and they would even defend it, but they don't consider that gay for the same reason that we wouldn't consider it gay, I guess, to like wrestle with the boys or whatever. Like there's a different threshold. What, really? Yeah, I'm oversimplifying it, but I guess the point that I'm trying to make is like there's enough of a variety in how people perceive like the boundary for what it means to be gay that you get like cope answers basically. The distinction there is the traditional passive active dynamic. Yeah. Like there are a bunch of countries where it's much more socially frowned upon to be the bottom than the top. So you will have guys who are like, yeah, I'm straight, but they will fuck men. And that'll just be like kind of accepted. Or maybe they won't talk about it, but it's like, whatever, they do it. But the gay people are the ones who bottom. You get what I mean? Ancient Greece? No, dude, that happens today. That's like pretty common today. That logic is even present in America, man. Like, people absolutely today, 100% would argue that it is gayer to get fucked by a guy than to fuck a guy. I would argue that. Everyone thinks that. It's just like whether or not, but if you sat me down for a survey and you were like, well, does this count as being gay, fucking another guy? I'd be like, yeah, probably, but some people would go, eh. Colonization's also led to many of those numbers. Was it the Philippines or Indonesia where before the Spanish colonization they were a lot more accepting of queer people, including like third gender people or whatever? Remember, there's that one thing that like the trans women and the femboys always post on Twitter where they're like return with a V, and it's like a historical excerpt where they talk about Thailand. No, not Thailand. Is it the Philippines? Okay, well the Philippines is pretty queer friendly now, at least judging by this. So Thailand was never colonized, I don't think. Oh shit, did you guys see the guy saying that he can't stand spending more than 10 minutes with his kids? Do you guys see this? This one's pretty good. Justin Murphy. Yeah, did none of you see this? No? Oh, okay, that's fine. It's probably not really worth our time. Am I just a monster? It's been 4 years since I became a father, and I'm beginning to fear for my soul. The truth is, I just don't like being around kids for very long. Historically, this is not uncommon amongst fathers, but today it feels almost illegal. It's causing me a lot of confusion and anguish. The ideal amount of time I'd like to spend playing with my kids is probably 70 to 140 minutes a week, roughly 10 minutes each day, maybe twice a day, taking breaks from work. My feelings of love toward them are perfectly strong, but if I have to watch them or entertain them for more than about 10 minutes, my blood starts to boil. I just want to be working or accomplishing something. I try to be grateful, but it doesn't work. The only thing I have to say about this is this one tweet. In response, it's a lot of men want kids the same way 6-year-olds want a pet dog. Like, will you take care of it? Yes. And then the parents end up taking care of it. Damn, some people really shouldn't be parents. Well, this guy's like a sociopath, broadly. So he's not necessarily representative of the broader generation, I think. Though it is an issue. The work in question. The Pentagon has begun an effort to strip Mark Kelly of honors and demote him because of his plea to U.S. service members to not follow illegal orders.
I've got a question for you. How many generations of Donald Trump's family have served in the military? 0. Now, for me and my family, service to our country is in my blood. My great-grandfather served in the U.S. Navy after immigrating from...
Great example, though, of how inept this, like, pro-veteran rhetoric from the left is, because the kind of people who think your opinion is worth more because of your veteran heritage are also the kinds of people who think that America should be a white ethno-state and your opinion is invalid because you've defied the Trump empire, you know? Like, what do you, like, this is not the right line here. No, I don't fucking care. Like, the decay of our institutions is one thing. The fact that you're being stripped of honors for political reasons, et cetera, okay, right? Like, that's all fair. But, like, I'm more of a veteran than Trump? Nobody cares, man.
Ireland. Both of my grandfathers served during World War II. Both of my parents wore uniforms. My dad in the 82nd Airborne, and both of them as career police officers. And when it was our turn, my brother and I started as volunteer EMTs, as teenagers, before becoming Navy captains, pilots in the United States Navy, and NASA astronauts. Donald Trump, he deferred the draft 5 times because he had bone spurs. Look, not everyone has to serve in our military.
Like this, like it's just... I mean, your argument kind of is everyone has to serve in our military. Your argument essentially is like, no, I'm owed like a different degree of respect because I've served in the military. That is your argument. That is the point that you are making.
To serve in our military, I get that. But when you're gonna question my patriotism and lecture me about duty to this country, and threaten me with a court-martial, 4 generations of service.
Like you are conceding to the administration the idea that your loyalty to the country and your service to the country are the reasons why this is wrong, rather than the fact that it's a fascist administration going after political opponents. Like, the fact that you are from a veteran lineage has literally nothing to do with the legitimacy of the claims made against you. If there was a legitimate reason to strip you of your title and your pension, that would be applicable whether or not you had, you know, whether your father served in World War II, any of that bullshit, you know? Like, it's...
This country earns me the right to speak. 5 deferments earns nothing.
Like, military people always do this, acting like their voices matter more because they served. Yeah, it's complete bullshit. It's fucking DEI nonsense that I don't respect. This video doesn't even mention what they're trying to do to him. That they're trying to put him in the device. Hegseth censures Senator Kelly after Democrats' video urging troops to resist unlawful orders. We do propagandize them to think that way. Yeah, but the kind of person who thinks that a veteran is an innately better person is the kind of person who probably supports Donald Trump. The only reason they wouldn't are for, like, respectability reasons, right? But the innate, like, the legitimizing mechanism there is completely fucked. Hegseth said the censure, by itself simply a formal letter with little practical consequence, was a necessary process step to proceedings that could result in a demotion from Kelly's retired rank of captain and subsequent reduction in retirement pay. Investigating and now punishing a sitting U.S. senator is an extraordinary move for the Pentagon, which until Trump's second term had usually gone out of its way to act and appear apolitical. In a lengthy post on social media, Kelly said he never expected what he called an attack from Trump and Hegseth. Really? Oh, did he make another post? Really, you never expected it? Yeah, there we go. Over 25 years in the U.S. Navy, 39 combat missions, 4 missions to space. I risked my life for this country to defend our Constitution, including the First Amendment rights of every American to speak out. I never expected the United States President and Secretary of Defense would attack me for doing attacks like that. Why? My rank and retirement are things I earned through my service and sacrifice for this country. I got shot at. I missed holidays and birthdays. I commanded a space shuttle mission while my wife Gabby recovered from a gunshot wound to the head, all proudly wearing the American flag on my shoulder. Yeah, no one fucking cares. I'm sorry. Why make it about yourself? Why not say, like, how telling that you're upset I said that soldiers shouldn't follow illegal orders, you fascist criminal fucks. You want soldiers to do crimes. Like, well, you just make it about the underlying claim, not about yourself. Trump did say the video was punishable by death. I forgot about that. Terrified? Well, why terrified? When do they start doing the assassinations? I don't think they do. If they were going to do that, I feel like they would have done that earlier on. Like, there wasn't really that much stopping the Trump administration from doing a bunch of extra legal arrests, like right at the beginning of the administration, you know, just make up charges, arrest a bunch of Democratic senators or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. With how weak the Democrats are, maybe they could still get away with it. The CDC has officially slashed the vaccine schedule for kids. Nice. The CDC will no longer explicitly recommend children get vaccinated for rotavirus, COVID-19, influenza, meningococcal disease, however it's pronounced, hepatitis A and hepatitis B, reducing the number of diseases covered by the childhood immunization schedule from 17 to 11. Yeah. That's cool, man. Whatever. I'm vaccinated. I'm fine. Rip to those kids, though, or whatever. Do the rich realize if they kill us all, they'll have no one to enslave? Genuinely, no. I actually think that the material conditions of their class position keep them from understanding that. I don't think they get that. I work in healthcare. This is a fucking disaster. It might kill more Americans than gun violence in the long term. Oh, yeah. For sure. Vaccination rates are on their way down. We've had the return of a bunch of previously basically under control diseases. It's not just RFK Jr., but the process is being hastened considerably, mostly by backlash to the COVID vaccine, opening up a bunch of conspiracism. Oh, what about the picture? I want to see the image. Here we go. Share of U.S. kindergartners vaccinated against measles, polio, and the whooping cough. And you'll notice that right as soon as COVID hit, see? Right as soon as COVID hit, that's where the vaccination rates plummeted. And that's because of all the right-wing, anti-vax propaganda just sort of spread out from there. Very state-dependent, too. Look at this. State-level coverage for MMR vaccines varied, ranging from 78.5% in Idaho to 92% in Connecticut, a real state. 98, not 92? Did I say 92? 98%, 98.2% in Connecticut. Medical exemptions are still nowhere. Non-medical exemptions are skyrocketing. How curious. It's so bad in Florida. Yeah. Does this mean Connecticut's mogging Idaho? Yes. Do you know about Idaho and do you know about Connecticut? Do you know anything about those two states and what they're like? Anything at all? I'm from California, no. It's still your country, man. Isn't this just going to kill a lot of Republicans and poor people in shitty states? Well, it's mostly going to kill, like, the children of Republicans. That's the primary victim group, but they don't really care, so, you know. I had some women in my nursing program seek out a religious exemption for the COVID vaccine. Man, I wish we could just force vaccinations on everyone. I wish we could just arrest the people who said no. That'd be so based. We'd get rid of so many bad people so quickly. You don't want to get your kids vaccinated? Oh, okay. Well, they're wards of the state now. Not wards. Property of the state? Whatever it is. Put them in a leper colony? Yeah. There is no scheduled public event for the announcement. Nice. Just happening. It's not just in America, by the way. This is also happening in much of Western Europe. Yeah, they're falling there as well. I think a lot of them are worse than America. Depends on the country. Big difference between like France and Albania, you know? What's infuriating is the way vaccines actually work is so complicated, even smart, normal people can't understand it. You don't have to understand it, you just have to bend the knee. I don't understand how computers work, and neither do you. We still use them. No one watching this probably fully understands how, like, all the shit that allows this live stream to function works. It's like pretty advanced technology. You might have a general grasp of it, but, you know. Civilization can't survive sloppulous distrust and expertise. There's a difference between technocracy, the idea that everything should be run by a fiddly group of managers and bureaucrats and so on, versus just believing in expertise as a concept. Literally, like, that's just a basic precursor to civilization. You know? Don't know how your car works, don't know how your house is built. How could anybody literally trust any processed foods and distrust vaccines? All foods are processed too. Like, this is part of the obsession with like raw milk and raw meat and stuff like that, as though those foods aren't also processed. Like a guy getting a slab of flank from an animal that's been getting injected with steroids and antibiotics its entire life. In Albania, vaccinations for kids is mandatory. Damn, well, fuck me for besmirching them, okay? All right. Glory to Albania. In Poland, we have evidence that anti-vax groups are tied to Russia. Probably here, too. Oh, yeah, some guy attacked J.D. Vance's home. Presumably his gay lover. I appreciate everyone's well wishes about the attack at our home. As far as I can tell, a crazy person tried to break in by hammering the windows. I'm grateful to Secret Service and the Cincinnati police for responding quickly. We weren't even home as we had returned already to D.C. It's a perfect analog, man. NL viewer. Let's assassinate this guy. Let's assassinate this guy with hammers. Did he post the picture? Nah, I didn't. The kid is very goober looking. Yeah, no kidding. 26 years old, but he looks like this fucking chubby-cheeked 15-year-old, you know? 26. This is 26. That's crazy. Looks like a young J.D. Vance. Time travel? Time travel? Any takers? You're sick so often, is it an age thing? I'm sick very infrequently. What I get often are tension headaches, which I feel in the back of my neck, and a cough. For my entire life, I've had coughs that linger after any sickness that I get. And the reason I get those coughs is because of GERD. G-E-R-D. Gastro something, something, something. And the gist of it is that my tummy's a little sensitive, and if I make my tummy angry with agitation, like through a bunch of coughing, or with a bunch of food that can like upset your gut bacteria or your stomach acid, like a bunch of acidic foods or whatever, the acid reflux burns my throat. The base of my throat or my esophagus is really sensitive to that feeling, and it causes a reflex cough. A dry cough, it's not a productive cough, like I'm not trying to get rid of anything in my throat, but the little burning feeling at the base of my esophagus causes a consistent cough. And I've had this issue my whole life. Only recently have I learned enough about why it happens to reduce it somewhat. But in terms of actually getting sick, like having a disease or whatever, that only happens to me maybe once or twice a year. Like the sniffles or whatever. I mean, I have allergies, but, you know. You don't got GERD, do you? I definitely have GERD. Gay extra retard disease. You got it. I fixed my GERD with the Link surgery back in college, and it helped so much. Yeah, I've heard about that, and it does make me wonder if it'd be worth getting. It feels a little bit excessive, but it's also supposed to be minimally invasive. It also sounds kind of scary. Like here, let me read from Google AI Overview. Link's surgery is a minimally invasive procedure for chronic gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, that involves implanting a flexible ring of magnetic titanium beads around the lower esophageal sphincter. That's where the tickle happens, to help it stay closed and prevent acid from flowing back into the esophagus. The surgery typically takes under an hour, offers a shorter recovery period than traditional methods, and aims to reduce reliance on medication by correcting the underlying cause of reflux. Now, to me, that sounds scary, but honestly, it's supposed to be pretty good. I don't know. It does interrupt, like, from purely in a financial sense, I do lose out on probably tens of thousands of dollars every year just because I can't stream because of my cough. It would improve my quality of life quite a bit. So, it's possible that it would be a worthwhile endeavor just for that reason. I'm uninsured though, so I wonder how much the surgery costs. Just offering a briefcase of cash, you know? Never do any surgeries that aren't for life-threatening life-threatening conditions. I don't necessarily think that's it's valid. Vaush water helps. I drink a lot of water, you know? You know why I don't drink water that often on stream? It's because I'm worried that I might drink it, like do the inhale water, wrong pipe thing, and then I get a cough and I have to end stream. Because I don't get a light cough or a cough that only lasts a little bit. Once I cough, even once, like I just did, now I feel that that like tickle at the base of my esophagus. So the reason I don't drink so much on stream, I'm in a rush to talk. I want to keep viewers activated, engaged. So I drink, I go glug glug, and then I want to talk too quickly, and then I'm worried it'll make me cough, and then the cough might fuck the stream, So I tend to drink water pretty like slowly on my own time. Have you tried cimetidine? Yeah, but this isn't that. This is a different acid control. Yes, I know what the medicine is. I've tried the medicine. You might have Barrett's esophagus. Oh, hold on. I have every symptom of GERD and no non-GERD symptoms. I'm pretty comfortable with my self-diagnosis here. I mean, I haven't talked to a doctor about it, but this is a pretty common and normal. Like it's not not a difficult call, is what I'm saying. It's not a rare condition. Looked up your symptoms on WebMD. You have brain cancer and ALS. Good luck, retard. That's why you got to be careful with the self-diagnosis stuff. But, my GERD went away after I stopped eating gluten, for what it's worth. I really don't think I have celiac disease. Like, that's very uncommon. Real celiac is super, super, super uncommon. Whereas GERD affects tens of millions of people. Just realized Mama's GERD too. Hey, listen, if talking about this brings attention to anything, it's never lupus. You can have gluten intolerance that isn't celiac. I can look into it. Anyway, what Knotted Alpaca said was, I'm in my early 20s and I haven't had a headache since I got the flu almost 2 years ago and almost never had acid reflux. I'd like reaction videos, even if it's just you in the corner passively. If it's me, yo, God damn it, now I'm thinking about it. The fuck thing about it being like a tickle, wait, last thing, White Nervosa sent ticket weeks ago, no response. Okay, I need to talk with White because there's some site management stuff that's been lagging behind. Not at Alpaca, I'm going to keep this message of yours up here so I can respond to you later, okay? Here, well, now I'm coughing because I'm thinking about it. It's like a psychosomatic thing. Yeah, Mute Kitty 22. I know this is an exceptionally, like, vain thing of me to say and to believe, but I will not ever get on a CPAP machine, even if I have what is it? Sleep apnea. Because what about my sleep aura? I saw a gastroenterologist. He put me on pantoprazole, which is dirt cheap and makes all my symptoms go away. Okay. Oh, pantoprazole. That's a PPI. I tried that before and it made me sick. Well, we'll see. VGG is like doctors but better because I'm actually getting paid to do this rather than losing money. Got new notebook for New Year's and you're motivating me to write even more. Also been doing that back on the wall stretch. Appreciate you in this community. Dude, that stretch has single-handedly saved me from so many goddamn tension headaches so far. Hold on. Back against wall neck stretch. It's the easiest stretch in the world. It's so easy to do. It's so important, okay? It's so, so important. Here, I think I found...
A big cause of forward head posture comes from tight muscles that draw everything forward. Here's a really easy exercise that can quickly loosen things up. Put your whole backside flush against a wall or a door. Take 2 fingers, put them on your chin, do a slight chin tuck towards your chest, and now gently press your head into the door. You're going to hold this and then put your arms out in front of you, shoulder width apart, elbows bent at 90 degrees, fingers up towards the ceiling. Now reach upward towards the ceiling as
I do it with my elbows against the door. Like I'm doing like this, like absolute cinema. But you want your feet and your butt and your back and your head and all of you, like you want to flatten yourself against the door as much as you can, including lower back too, I think. Like you want to like really press yourself, like you're trying to straighten your spine basically. You want your entire spine to like be pressed straight and you're doing like a reset. you're doing like a reset on your posture, and it really helps afterwards. You feel like a crick right here, like in the back of your neck, because you're so used to looking down like this on your phone. You're on the toilet, you know, you're taking a big shit and you're on Twitter or whatever. It's meant to correct for that. Yeah, pretend you're being fucking rolled over by a big what are they called? Not Zimbabwe's. Zamboni. Oh,
Forward head,
this is the one I think
rounded
I saw
shoulders,
before.
and
Yeah,
a
I like
Donald
this one.
Duck butt. Look familiar? Do this 5-minute routine.
When people
What?
Forward head, rounded shoulders, and a Donald Duck butt. Look familiar? Do this 5-minute routine daily and you'll fix this in no
Okay,
time.
just show
Step
the-
1. Loosen up your tight chest and shoulders by using a band, towel, or broomstick and doing over and backs. Narrow your grip over time for a deeper stretch. Step 2. To pull you upright, strengthen your weak mid-back muscles by standing against the wall and sliding your hands
There we go.
up and down. Engage your core to keep your low back flat and move your feet further from the wall to make it easier. Add in a chin nod each
I don't move my feet further from the wall because I'm goated in the peak of human physical perfection. But, you know.
rep will also strengthen your neck flexors to help pull your head back. Step 3.
Seriously, it feels super good to do that.
To release your tight hip flexors, kneel down, engage your core, tilt your pelvis back, and then lean forward to deepen the stretch.
Also, fun fact, this stretch right here, this is how you prepare for a front split. You're stretching the muscles that you will use for a front split if ever you find if ever able, you know?
And step 4, strengthen your weakened glutes with glute bridges. Keep your back straight, squeeze your butt hard, and progress to single leg once you're ready. Screenshot this routine and get started today. Good luck.
No, I think these are good. I'm really feeling the stretch pill, you know? I'm really feeling it. Yoga's pretty amazing for that. Yeah, but yoga didn't really work with me. What really resonated with me was treating stretches like a strength exercise. So when you're doing the like the pike stance, right? Where you're like bending over to touch your toes, it's not like ooh ah. You're like forcing the maximum range of motion out of that movement, which is going to hurt, you know, a little bit. If you're doing it properly with proper form, it shouldn't hurt. It's like the hurt of a heavy lift where you feel like your muscles are being engaged heavily, but it's not like injurious. Straight coded, who cares? Yeah, well, it's not about, well, I mean, weightlifting is straight coded too. It's not, yoga is a good exercise. It's just, this engages me a little bit more. Anyway.